Hello everybody, we have a few sneaky stories to catch up on today, including Ma Maniere having been broken into again. They've also got an Air Max 95 that we just caught a glimpse of recently. Also got some grown men out there pressing other men in the streets over some Crocs, as well as a little bit of the hype and build-up and what could have been a staged backdooring frenzy around this week's upcoming Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4s. So yeah, let's just crack into it. Right, let's start off with this story here, which is somewhat breaking. This just happened overnight last night. Ma Maniere in West Atlanta has been the target of burglary once again. This is not the first time this store has been hit by thieves. Apparently they gained access to the store via the back wall, which they pretty much just took a hammer to and smashed in, and then got out the front door here, as you can see from this video, where you can see the glass shattered, metal barrier kicked in. And the timing of this robbery will be of very little surprise or wonder to all of you guys out there, because no doubt this store was carrying pairs of the Air Jordan 4 brick by brick collab that's supposed to be coming out this Friday. And this of course is in follow-up to the train cart robbery that we were covering a couple of weeks ago now, as well as another video that we're going to be talking about later on in the episode that seems to almost be staging a robbery or a heist or some kind of backdoor shenanigans. We'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, this particular instance is the 6th time that this store has been the target of thieves over the past decade, prompting people out there to maybe wonder why it is they haven't at this point instituted better security measures. No information on any arrests or suspects or leads or anything like that. According to this post here, APD officer shot responding to alarm, but police say it was security guard for the store arriving that shot officer and suspects got away. So does that mean that the people holding down the security for this particular store were shooting each other rather than the suspects? I mean, that I guess would probably explain why this store is such a popular target for thieves. I don't know. Right, check this video out. These are grown men waiting in line to buy Crocs, and this very much shows a sign of the times. I spoke about this sneaker over the weekend, where we saw the first Bape online release go down and they sold out straight away. Now we're seeing the campouts and the lineups and everybody standing around holding their phones out trying to capture these viral moments on camera to get some social media play. And I spoke about this sneaker in terms, or spoke about this clog rather, in terms of just how it represents a changing in times. 10 years ago, Bape were like the hottest streetwear brand out there. If you'd have told me that they were going to be collaborating with Crocs, I would not have believed you. That's how egregious and how untrendy Crocs were. But now in 2025, Crocs are it. They are the thing, they are the business. All the youngsters want to rock the Crocs, and Crocs are kind of giving the cool to Bape in 2025 in the same way it would have been the reverse 10 years ago. And some of you guys out there said that this was a bad take, that Bape have been on game like that for the past 10 years. They haven't missed a step. But when was the last time you saw people camping out, queuing up, and getting pressed over any Bape product before these Crocs? I will wait. Nigel Sylvester had a pop-up in New York for his upcoming Air Jordan 4 collaboration, which had all sorts of people turning out and showing up. And this was an interesting one because some people apparently turned up to this pop-up event thinking that they were going to be able to cop the sneakers, but apparently the only people that were able to cop sneakers that turned up to this pop-up event were people that were able to secure the pair via the Nike sneakers app or something like that. And I guess it's just part of the marketing hype and part of the build-up, which is incidentally what we're going to move into now, because this next video is kind of crazy. Right, so in this video here, you can see what looks to be a backdoor operation or some kind of sneaker heist playing out in real time with some interesting characters, including X-Men's very own Cyclops. And this particular video has been getting a lot of traction online because it appears to show a backdoor operation playing out in 4K. These guys aren't doing much apart from Cyclops to conceal their identities. There can also be heard in the background some comments from some of these charlatans. The whole thing seems a little bit staged. Now, some people have taken this to be a legitimate backdoor operation going down, or maybe some kind of a heist. I tend to think it could be part of the marketing, just because of the tenor and the feel of the video. It doesn't seem particularly authentic. Plus, if this was some kind of a clandestine operation, it sort of boggles the mind as to why you would record it and then post it. But is this, if it is marketing, kind of in bad taste? Because it sort of glorifies the whole heist that we were talking about in pretty negative terms a few weeks ago with regard to the whole train operation. I don't know. The hype is there regardless of this type of marketing, but I'm interested in your guys' thoughts. Is this clever marketing? Is this a little bit distasteful? Or is this a legitimate backdoor situation? Let me know what you guys think. Right, so we've got a couple of Air Max 95 stories to talk about. We saw in the past few days some images crop up via Clint419's Instagram about the whole Corteiz Nike Air Max 95 in the black and the yellow, or the Batman colorway. He's down there with his crew in Brazil, and they've taken a whole bunch of pairs to get some sweet pics with. And the rumors that I'm hearing is that this particular release is set to be the most available of all the releases in terms of the numbers produced. But ironically and contrastingly, it's not going to be available in the US. This is supposed to be a EU release only. So I'm not sure to what extent they're going to be doing the whole viral guerrilla marketing, coordinates, show up, pop up type thing, maybe somewhere in the UK, maybe somewhere else in the EU. I'm not sure on the specific release info, but this shoe is happening. It's a thing. They're going down next month in April. That's all the details I have at the minute. The other Air Max 95 that has come to light this week is the follow-up to the While You Were Sleeping Air Max 95 from Ma Maniere last year, which is an absolute thing of beauty, albeit a very snug fit. And this particular follow-up looks beautiful. I think these look really nice. Okay, they are a little bit boring. They are very understated, but very tasteful, very clean, very wearable. I actually think these could be better than the first. I mean, you guys know how it goes with Ma Maniere. They're not particularly big on the bright colors. They're not big on the whole out there colorways. They're not big on solid security for their stores in Atlanta, but they are very good when it comes to discreet details and quality materials. And this particular colorway, yeah, ticking all of the boxes. It's also interesting that we've got these images right off the rip. You know, we haven't had any early leaks or any of those potato pics. These have pretty much come to us straight away in really good resolution with some nice on-foot looks, as well as some, yeah, nicely set up photo shoot type accompaniments. The details look pretty much the same. You've got the Ma Maniere text in the same position right around the front of the mudguard. The gradient color schemes are quite neutral. They're quite subtle. There's a nice little progression from dark to light. The materials look really good. It's a dope looking sneaker. I've got to say, no specific release date information at the minute, but I will definitely keep you guys updated. And some more images of the Air Jordan 5 Fire Reds, the Black Tongues. This is actually the first time we will have received this sneaker since 1990. You might be thinking we've had this sneaker a whole bunch of times, but that is the regular Fire Red, not the Black Tongues. So now that these are coming out, a lot of people are saying, finally. So the images themselves are pretty decent. XC Sneaker has definitely got himself a bit of an upgrade here. Some people have been complaining about the back font on the 23 embroidered on the lateral heel quarter being not totally consistent with the originals, but you know, sneakerheads, they'll always find something to talk about. But apart from that, the details are looking pretty good. Obviously the Nike Air on the back, that is a key detail. The shape and the construction looks pretty decent. The leather looks all right. The toe box is looking pretty sweet, although I'm not sure if this is maybe a smaller size that XC Sneakers got to hands. I would say, generally speaking, it's looking like a pretty solid retro. So StockX went ahead and did a CT scan on the ruby red Nike SB Dunk Low Wizard of Oz sneaker that we started seeing videos of. I think it was probably about a month ago now, when there was a little restock of the Wizard of Oz SBs, and among this restock were sneaky pairs of these ruby red slippers, which were rumored to be crazy limited. And now, thanks to StockX, we have an idea of just how limited they are. Something like 85 pairs according to the numbers on the tongues. And this rarity is no doubt informing the resale prices, which at the moment are right up there. The last sale on StockX for a pair of these is over $12,000. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, why would StockX go ahead and do a CT scan on a sneaker? What kind of marketing promotion is this? And some people have been pointing out the relative obvious thing that StockX have gone ahead and decided to do this because they are trying to show that they are dedicated to looking into the legitimacy of the sneakers that they authenticate, going as far as to use medical grade equipment to dial into the nitty-gritty details of the sneakers. So you might say that this has been in response to the Nike lawsuit findings that came out last week, a little bit of damage control, a little bit of image rehabilitation. I don't think that would be a bad take to have. We've had some of our best looks yet at one of the year's most exciting new sneakers. I don't think that's a controversial take. The amount of chatter that I'm seeing out there about these and the response that I've seen to these online has been pretty epic. These are the Adidas jellyfish sneakers, the Pharrell joints. So many people are chatting about these, even though the price is something like $280 or $300. I don't think that is going to prevent these things from selling out instantaneously and possibly even reselling for a whole bunch of money, depending on how limited they want to try to make these. According to these images, bro, I gotta say, they look pretty wild, they look pretty cool, they look pretty out there. They have this whole sort of chunky mesh runner, the fusion between the classic Y2K runner and then the oversized proportions that companies like Balenciaga and maybe Mischief and those other agitators in the sneaker space have been helping to popularize. And I feel like these have just the right amount of new technology and novel features combined with that whole retro runner look, as well as the updates with the oversized nature of them to just tick all the boxes to give us something a little bit new and exciting. The materials look pretty interesting as well. The details and this whole sort of plastic cage upper that is the whole reason for the jellyfish name look pretty interesting as well. So yeah, these are supposed to be coming out a little bit later on in the year, but according to these images, I think these are looking pretty dope. Oregon's Division Streets have got 3 different Nike Air Max 95/97 colors for Air Max Day coming out later on this month. The 26th of March is Air Max Day, and these 3 colorways are going to be dropping. And this sneaker is a fusion. It's a combination of the Air Max 97 upper mixed together with the Air Max 95 bottom, or the midsole. A little bit like Sean Witherspoon and how he combines the Air Max 97 upper and the Air Max 1 midsole. This sneaker is doing the same type of thing and is a callback to a GS exclusive release which came out during the original run, which is a picture that you can see here. We have the Lightning Edition, which is in this light gray colorway, and this is going to be available via raffle at the beginning of March the 15th, with pickups available beginning March the 21st. It's also going to be available on the GOAT app in the Asia Pacific region on March the 24th. Then you have the Thunder colorway, which features the green and gold color shift synthetic and a yellow glow-in-the-dark airbag featuring on the inside of the sole. And these are going to be available on March the 21st on the GOAT app in the Europe and Middle East and South Africa region. And then finally the Storm colorway, which features a gold and green shift synthetic. These are going to be available at Flight Club locations in LA, New York and Miami on March the 22nd, and on the GOAT app globally on March the 26th. But our first look at another pretty exciting Kobe 6 Protro set to come out this year in the total orange color. We've got these really clean images to take a look at, and this joins a stacked year of Kobe's. Retail $190, supposedly set to come out in the fall season. So thanks to Depeche Mode, we've had the chance to get some up close and personal images of some mythological sneakers. We've actually had a little bit of a photo shoot go down here for one of the most mythical sneakers in modern times, the Air Jordan 1 High off-white in the canary colorway. How many times have we been strung along to believe that this shoe was going to be enjoying an imminent release? Well, at least 2 or 3 times, that's for sure. But according to these images, we can get a really good read on the sneaker. Now, you guys might be thinking, as I was, why is the ripstop upper not oxidizing yet? As you guys will probably know, the white foam material as well as the ripstop material has the tendency in the legit pairs to start to go a little bit yellow over time, and it's actually that feature that can be a good way to determine whether or not the shoes that you have are legit or fake. If your pair is bright white in 2025, there's a good chance they are reps, whereas if they've got a little bit of oxidation or they're not flat white or pure white, then you've probably got yourself a legit pair. But I'm pretty confident that this sneaker, unlike the Chicago's I just showed you, weren't made in 2016 or 2017. We first saw this sneaker at an exhibition in Chicago in 2019, and there's only apparently something like a handful of pairs out there in existence, and they're all samples. This particular pair is a size 8, and these are up for sale for, get this, $75,000 without a box. 75K for this particular pair, which is crazy. And to me, it reflects the idea that the whole samples or the rare, hyper rare sneaker market has not fallen off in the same way that the mainstream sneaker market has, because that type of a price is incredibly high. And one can only imagine that if someone is asking for that type of money, they either don't want to sell them, or there are people out there that are willing to pay that for this type of a shoe. So I don't know. The other crazy sample that we've had a good look at are the Jordan 11 Purple Rains, which were made Prince apparently, and these are a little bit more out there. It's another Depeche Mode sneaker, another really nice photo shoot giving us the details. And this is supposedly a one of one. Obviously a nod to the Purple Rain songs. They're not really my thing, a little bit egregious for the eyes, a little bit fugly, but these are up for sale for $100,000. We've had some updated on-foot looks at the Jordan 1 High UNC Reimagined, set to drop this May. These on-foot shots have these looking very nice, very clean, but I've got to say that they pretty much look in 2025 brand new, the same way that my pair from 2015 looks now. So as a result, I'm not sure I'm going to be desperately in need to cop them for the collection. For the content creation, yeah, obviously, because bro, got to do the comparison videos, you know, all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's not like a desperately needed pair for the collection, because yeah, these are looking pretty much the same. All right, so let's finish off by talking about the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 Brick by Bricks, which are dropping this Friday. If you guys haven't already been looking around for all of your local raffles, you guys need to pretty much get on that now, because all of the raffles from pretty much all of the places that are going to be selling these things are already in play. If you're here in the UK, places like End, places like Foot Patrol, BSTN, all your regular Tier 0 outlets currently have raffles available for you to enter into right now. Same thing for you guys over there in the USA. I am seeing reports that there's something like 50K pairs out there available, which who knows to what extent that number is accurate or not. Resale prices have been dipping just a little bit over the weekends. I was talking about them in around the £500 or $550 range. Now they're starting to dip under £500. So I would imagine closer to release day, these will probably be around £400 or around $450. That's without fees. Obviously, if you can get them for around that price after fees, you'd probably be doing pretty well. But yeah, the hype is high. The demand is huge. All of the marketing, all of the build up, all of the pop-ups, all of this, is it marketing? Is it not marketing? Online, combined with the train robbery heist, all of that stuff has just helped to fuel this sneaker's hype, which it didn't even really need, because the sneaker is hype enough on its own. But add that together with Nigel's momentum that he's been carrying over from last year, and yeah, this sneaker is definitely one that a lot of people are gonna be gunning for. So yeah, good luck going for those. Hope you guys all managed to get a dub on those, even though I'm sure most of us probably won't. And I will look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Do me a favor and like it before you bounce, and I will see you on the next one. I've got a couple of reviews coming up for you guys very soon. So yeah, take care for now, and peace.